Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Good evening.
We are here to talk about the sneaky, probably best show right now on freaking reality TV. You know it. I know it. You love it. You hate it. We are talking the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, the Ex-Wives Club. We are combining episodes 4 and 5 this week because we had 4th of July last weekend and it kind of just, we ran out of days and time to record. Man, am I glad that I got 4 and 5 together. They feel like it was kind of a 2-day meld that was great. One of the best lines in one of the episodes was Vicky being like, "Oh my God, we're here till Saturday. I thought it was Thursday."
Right. Yeah.
It's like these women, if they had to actually be together for say a month for their own survival, couldn't do it.
No,
couldn't do it.
That should be a version of Survivor, is Real Housewives on an island. That would be
Dorinda.
Good TV.
Dorinda.
Yeah.
Dorinda. I told you, Brian, because you haven't watched Real Housewives of New York and I've seen every season. I told you to wait. I told you when I saw months ago that it was Dorinda, like it was like the main person they were advertising. I was like, she's going to fight with everybody. Like she's going to fight with every single person. And in 2 episodes, she made Tamara cry about eating inside. That was crazy. That was nuts. She made Vicky look normal. Like Vicky somehow all of a sudden is like one of the most calm, normal people. She went after Brandy again. She went after everybody, basically said they're all animals because God forbid they eat in the Berkshire's bedrooms. It is Bluestone Manor. It's like the gulag.
I mean, I don't like eating in bed, so I wasn't like totally blown away by
Make it nice, Brian.
Yeah. But I agree with you. Like, it's the show is the everybody but Atlanta Housewives fighting. Like, they haven't even gotten in a fight at all.
Nope.
Which is incredible because remember last season, like they didn't get in many fights, but they still like once in a while like had their like beefs and stuff like that. This one, they're just there. I love their confessionals. They're great.
Oh, well, we got an all-time confessional moment when, first of all, we'll really get through episode 4 kind of quick. The main thing there was the bourbon prohibition party.
Yep.
And man, who would give these women brown liquor?
Yeah, I know. It was
they were wow.
They were drunk after like 2.
Well, because you saw too, like her. And also, I remember how I was like, why would Dorinda let them do this at her house and shit? Mm-hmm. We got our answer, Brian, because her bourbon got featured and sponsored. She's got that Bluestone Manor bourbon, apparently. Tell me that wasn't one of the big things. Like, there it is. She got paid, and there it was. Like, also, she's the most delusional human of all time. Why can't you just say she got fired?
I know.
I'm on pause.
They just love their own brand, man. They'll eat their own shit. Like, they just, like, it's crazy. They'll believe whatever they want to believe.
I like how she keeps going when she's like, well, when I talk to them, it's Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen fired you. Andy Cohen is them. And literally, how crazy was it when she said that when they fired her, she wouldn't let them finish firing her to tell her why they were firing her. She basically just went blah, 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 and said, I know my work is good, and like left the conversation. Yeah, so she doesn't even know why she technically was fired.
It's honestly a shame that these people have so much money and act the way they do. It's if you said this,
Phaedra said that. Phaedra said at the end of episode 5, she's like, we are a bunch of wealthy women. Yeah. What are we fighting about?
No, it's if you sent this to aliens, they would be like, what is wrong with this?
Oh my God, I would say this. They would, first of all, they would be like, human beings are amazing editing, because like literally the crap when Dorinda and they're all fighting in the 2nd episode, and that dinner just became an absolute fiasco, from Dorinda calling Jill thirsty about just wanting to hang out in the room when Eva's recording, to keep bringing up, and Dorinda is getting drunker.
Oh yeah.
Drunker. Like, this episode should have just been called The Dinner at the Red Lion Inn. Yeah, like, right. It's just like, it was 8:30 and they started pounding the bourbon down. Like, it was like, okay, here we go. Dorinda doing, and then like you kind of mentioned in the pre-show, and kind of like, why do these women, like Taylor, talk about a woman who's got nothing going on in her life, nothing, literally nothing. And Brandy had a low blow. She basically said, like, you're famous because your husband beat you up, basically, like, and then died. Like, it was a low blow, but it was basically like, I'm sure that was what was running through some of their heads in that moment. They're like, okay, these 2 women are fighting about something. Brandy's kind of being a little drunk, and then you're getting back into, it's not your fight. She didn't out you. She had a other person, and you know what? Like, I don't. It was a horrible thing to do, but at the end of the day, she was kind of like the only person. Brandy. The only thing I really like about Brandy is she's the only one. It's like there's cameras here. You know this is a show, right? Like this is like everyone else knew that info that I brought up, right? You're really gonna act like I outed everyone from that party when that happened. It didn't air for like another year. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
defending Brandy. She's a
No,
fucking trash can
she's
human
annoying
being,
as
but
hell, man.
I can respect that you're like Dorinda's no different than her.
No,
She's a
no,
worse
they're all
drunk
the
than
same.
Brandy is, but she's like will never admit that.
Yeah, they're all the same. If they
That's
all
the
drank the
truth.
same amount of alcohol, they would all act exactly the same.
So, I mean, it's just funny that like it's just I told you from the beginning, not even with this show, just with Housewives in general. The whole show is their day-to-day lives, but they don't get any of that here. So it's just literally like all they do is drink on these vacations. I told you every time they go to the Berkshires, you can literally go on YouTube and just look up like Real Housewives Berkshire scenes, and there'll be compilations of just Dorinda most of the time fighting with ex housewife, whatever at that moment. She's fought with the Countess Luann a million times. She fought with Bethany there. She fought with Taylor there. She's fought with my other favorite, who obviously I always blank on her name. Ramona. She fought with Ramona a million times. She fought with Sonia Morgan a bunch of times. Like literally, I'm this is just me. Like I just named 7 women she fought with in that house, and I'm like a novice fan. Like,
yeah, I don't get like it's got to be. Do you think the producers kind of egg those things on? Like,
no,
hey, you should bring this up.
no.
You don't
What
think
they're
so?
doing, they're just taking advantage of what they already know. You got to remember, Brian, they got a lot of these producers and all they have working on this show. These women have worked with a million times.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like some
Yeah.
of them, you heard them when they were talking with what's her name, with Jill about the funeral. Like she definitely invited them. Like I don't believe that you can show up at someone's funeral without the spouse approving. I don't think Andy Cohen would do. I believe them, and I'm not here to judge. Like not here to judge that, whatever. But like that producer was like, oh, we have emails from like your ex, like they know the people. Like they're like, yeah, we got you, and that's why I like the show. They don't hide anything. It's just I don't know.
No, that is true. I just as a non-fan, I just when I'm watching these episodes, I'm like, this is why America sucks. Like, I just I know you love it, Bill. I know you love it.
No, bro.
It's super,
bro. I like it
it
because
is entertaining.
they're not even real people to me.
No, they're not. And like, I just don't know how you can have that much money and take that much stuff so seriously and personally.
Why Phaedra is our favorite. She literally, she broke the fourth wall the entire show. She's like, I don't understand.
She's definitely my favorite.
Wealthy women, and it's funny because like Atlanta, they definitely fight, but like they fight. A lot of their fights come from like, things whether it was like cheating scandals or like big money scandals or like kind of like intense like fights that these people have. But like they're saying, she's like, the only thing these bitches fight about is like.
It's just
like literally things like this, like microaggressions all day. Like,
right. She's definitely my favorite character by far.
Oh, Atlanta's the best. I can't wait to actually go through and watch all.
Yeah, I would actually watch those because like.
Oh, and they're
not even getting in any altercations. Like last season, there was some altercations, but I think it was really Ramona just being.
This season blows last season out of the water.
Yeah,
last season was literally only Ramona just being Ramona, and that's all we basically got out of the season. This season, we're literally getting so much old beef, and that they just won't let it go. Like they'll never let this beef go. Taylor hates Brandy so much that like she like, but she's got to watch herself. Like Brandy's sneaky. I bet she could like scrap, dude. She's definitely been in scraps in her life. She could definitely pull some hair, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Never, dude. What about also my last thing I was talking about this episode was when Brandy left after the "What if your kid was dead" comment, which was a low blow from Dorinda, obviously, and Phaedra was like, "Listen, you can't hurt her. She's an old lady."
Yeah, yeah.
She's like, she's only 5 years older than me, Joe.
So, see, like it's impossible to tell how old these people are because they have literally so much work done on their face.
It's one of those things, and like, look, we don't like want to minimal. I don't want to just kind of demonize Dorinda. The idea is, look, like she obviously lost her husband. That was a big part of her identity as anyone who's married, and I think she's really been lost since then. But if she literally just basically said, "Hey guys, I just find myself being really sad a lot of times and kind of overcompensating," but everyone would understand. it's just the triple down with the rules and the show and the staff and the competitions and the theme parties and God forbid, and she just gets drunk. And then if anyone says anything, she's just off I mean, again, the editing is undefeated in this show. She says 7 minutes ago, don't talk about anyone's kids. She talks about someone's kids. She's like, I can't believe you're going to like waste one of my days napping. Cuts to her napping 3 separate days on the trip. Like, this show is undefeated.
Yeah. I mean, they just have no awareness about anything that comes out of their mouth or what they do. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And I just like that it's ramping up and it's not going to get any smoother. And they're going to have to get separated in like body bags probably, because Jill and her thing is real. Jill was the one that got her on Housewives. And then after Jill was gone and wasn't on Housewives anymore, she started treating her like a peasant because she was still on the show. And now that she's off the show, she's like in denial. And Jill's just like, yeah, no. And you know why Jill's good? Because she doesn't drink. And if you're the one who's not drinking, I'm sorry, on these shows, I'm listening to you. Like, you are probably the most accurate of what's happening here. I'm going to go with you.
Would you go to the Red Lion Inn?
Yes. I bet they do.
Go.
I bet they serve a wonderful quiche.
I would go, but I was expecting it to be like that one room they're sitting in. It looks kind of like a tavern.
Yeah, it was like the Green Dragon from Lord of the Rings. Like, it was like literally like, but again, no one's ready for the Housewives. No one's ready for the Berkshires. They're never going to be the same entering the Berkshires. It's like a Hell in the Cell match. You never leave the same way you entered the cell, and you never leave the Berkshires the way you entered the Berkshires, especially if you broke a rule. And with that sound knowledge, we are going to sign off. Damn, I was doing so good at the end there, guys. Make sure you're checking out everything on the channel. We had the finale of All Stars Challenge this week, season 3. The premiere of Challenge USA coming up will be the season premiere, season 19 of The Bachelorette. We also will have everything Netflix related, Survivor, Amazing Race, everything else in the fall. Please like, subscribe, comment, let us know what to watch, and tell us which housewife you love. For myself and Brian, thank you. Peace.